Hello and welcome to this special edition of At Home in Subic Bay. We're going to be doing things a little differently this time around. Mark has asked me to do part of the introduction, partly due to the fact that we're going to be looking at my home almost exclusively this time around. The reason for that is we're at a very interesting time in my build. Today marks the 60-day anniversary. In 60 days, we're
Supposed to
expecting
be completed.
to be complete, right? And both of us are kind of on the fence as to whether it's going to be ready. There's arguments for both sides. I personally, I'm really having trouble thinking that this house is going to be ready in 60 days.
Now, one of the things let's qualify is what do we mean by ready? Ready in a case for Ian would be a different thing than a ready for Mark and family to move in. Ian only has himself and the dog and his clothes on his back, the other clothes he has too here, but he doesn't have any furniture other than one large screen TV to move in. Now, when he is ready to move in, he's going to need to purchase furniture and put it into the house and have it safely secured and locked up in there.
Now, the reason for that is when I moved here a year and a half ago,
December 2023.
December 2023, I moved here and I had to find an apartment. I had to find a long-term place to stay. And what was available wasn't a furnished apartment at the time, which I thought, well, that's ideal. I mean, if I had to go with the apartment option, I would have had to buy all the furniture for the house.
And in my case, I also signed a lease in 2023, December of 2023, but I did not get a furnished apartment. I had to buy everything. From the only things that were supplied was the air conditioners in the apartment. The refrigerator I had to supply, the cooktop I had to supply, all the kitchen appliances I had to supply, washing machine I had to supply, everything in there. The advantage to me now is when I move into the house, I'll move all that stuff into the house. So I have all that purchased when I'm in place now, but I have to move it there. Now I'm probably going to need, to give you guys an idea, I'm going to need the equivalent of a 24, 26 foot U-Haul truck is what I'm going to need to move in there. In Ian's case, we literally moved him from his old apartment over to this one in one move in my car. So we did it. We thought we were going to take a couple moves, but we literally did it in one haul with the car. So
now it's more of a van than a car.
Yeah, it's an SUV.
Yeah. So when I first got here, I signed a year's lease. And I wasn't exactly happy with the place that I was staying with, so
that might be an understatement.
That's another story for another time. But I let Mark know my displeasure with the place I was staying, and Mark actually talked to the management where he was living, and they said, well, we have a place available. So I came in and I talked to them, and I didn't think they would accept a 3-month lease. That's a very, very low term for a lease. But they said, yeah.
Most everyone here in Subic is 6 months and up. So
yeah, absolutely.
So
that lease runs out in May, and I'm hoping that I don't have to sign another 3 months. 3 months would mean that I would have to pay rent for another 3 months, and that rent money is money that I could be spending on buying furniture for my home. So in this episode, we're going to be going through room by room, pointing out the things that need to be done and some of the things that have yet to be done but don't necessarily need to be done before we move in. And then at the end of the video, we're going to be asking people's opinions on whether they think it'll be ready in 60 days.
So send comments. We genuinely want to know what you all think when it's doing it. The purpose of this is really to let you understand the kind of struggle that you go through, because if you're building here, you're going to have some place to live while the build is going on. You're going to have something to see. How do you manage a lease, again, because you're not going to be able to just rent month to month normally anywhere where you're at in the Philippines. Some places I've heard of that, but around here in Subic, it's not going to happen.
If you're renting month to month, it's going to be a rough area.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a secure area like we're in. That's all I can really say on that.
So with that, we'll get on with the video. Bye. Like these videos, please give me a like. And if you want to send comments, comments are always welcome. I'll look for improvements and how I can make myself better. If you do subscribe, you'll be able to get next in line when the next video is coming back out again.
Hey guys.
I can't say I'm like Marvin. I don't know any of their names.
Yeah. Well, there's Hey You, and there's Who's It, and there's What's It. Oof. Starting to look polished.
Okay, so will Ian's house be ready for him to move in 60 days? He's supposed to complete and move into the house. So that doesn't mean that everything is finished and done, but at a minimum, he's got to have windows and doors. We're debating if he has to have a post to the fence here, because over here is his meter, temporary. And I don't know if they'll let him move in on a temporary meter. He may have to have it over here. So I'm not sure if the fence is required or not. Lead on, you're the one giving the show now.
All right. So apparently before I move in, he's going to have the carport and a gate along with the wall, a front wall, and a wall completely going around the place.
But that's not a requirement to move in for you. He says it, but that's not
right. He's saying that before I move in, he'll have that. I don't need it, but I can't see it being ready in 2 months.
Okay, there's a door frame. There is no window frame.
Good morning.
We not yet have tile here. We have a lot of wall finish. All the electrical is still to be finished and done.
Although that's not, I don't think that's a big deal. The one thing on the electrical is, as you pointed out the other day, we need a second box installed here, and that's kind of why I wanted to speak with Bong this morning, as to why we've talked about it how many times, and he keeps saying, yeah, okay, we'll do that. But,
so has it been ordered, not been ordered, that? You don't know.
Right.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to shut off the camera here for just a minute. Come back to it.
Okay. Mark, another thing, I want to get a marker or something. They drew on the front of the window there. I want to show you which one we selected for the outside of the yeah.
Go ahead, I'm just
all right. The brown one, yeah. The brown one to the right. You catch that? The brown one to the right.
Orange, but yes.
That's orange. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh, that's all. I sent that off to Bong, to Bong, but I can give you the colors.
The chart's out in the car.
Actually, I have it all here, somewhere. Where the hell's my glasses? What the heck did I do with my glasses? Come on. I have a pair of glasses here somewhere. There you go. Okay. Whoops.
Oh, but the cornice. The cornice. What's the cornice? Maybe this one.
Trim.
Cornice, yan. Cornice.
Let me think on that.
Maybe brown already. About one brown. Brown or
Light
brown.
light brown, yeah.
Yeah, sample na lang tayo. Bigyan, sample tayo.
You want the color chart? It's in the car.
We make some sample.
It's in the.
Yeah.
Go. I'll turn off the video. Go get
All right.
the sample out of the. So here's Ian getting to make an executive decision, and Mel will tell him he's wrong.
Well, it's thinking something like cappuccino,
No, that's what my office is. Cappuccino. That's what I picked for my office.
but we've got all lighter colors. That would be the darkest of our.
Yeah, it'd be fine. You want a dark trim? You got light walls.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So, for the trim, cappuccino.
Cappuccino?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe like already cappuccino. Maybe this one, same color. Cappuccino, that also. Maybe this one.
What
Cappuccino.
cappuccino is
Yeah,
darker.
maybe this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe yellowish already. Yellowish.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Cappuccino.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cappuccino.
Okay. Another thing got to be done, or you can move in. No septic tank.
Yeah, septic tank would be good for when I move in.
Either that, or Ian will have to use the portable potty back here.
Well, they're building a big one over there for
No,
me.
you walk down there. You get a ladder and you go over the wall.
Yeah. Okay, so we have all of this to be done here, and this is going to be French doors, sliding French doors, removable French doors, all the way from one side to the other, and in here. We need a window in the kitchen here.
So this is 2 sets of French doors.
Yep.
Window here.
Full window here.
Sink here.
All the
Sinks are in.
cabinetry,
Cabinet here.
electrical.
There's no cabinet here. Upper, lower.
Yeah.
Stove. Now,
Well,
Ian has to purchase the stove, and we know where we're going to get it. It's not a problem there, but he can't put in the stove
Until
over
he
his tile,
Right.
because it's got to sit on top of the tile.
Right.
And a range hood he has purchased, and it's over locked in the storage room that we have. So that's purchased and done. This electric up here is for the cabinet lights, overhead cabinet lights.
Okay.
And this is the getting ready for the tile here,
Shelving
laundry,
and sink and
kind of a laundry room, mud. Ian keeps calling it a mud room. Now, I'm not sure, you know, I was commenting the other day, does this come up to level here, or is there a balcony here walking in? You know, I don't know what you're doing.
I think it comes up to level, and then there's steps. This is, I think, at level.
Okay.
And then it goes down from there in steps.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think in terms of
This is the spot for his refrigerator, and he's more or less got an idea what he's going to do for a refrigerator. So again, he can't bring in a refrigerator until it's closed up, sealed up, and
right.
doing this.
The only other thing, sure, yeah. So here we also have the railings all in, but we have glass inserts that yet have to be put in.
But you wouldn't have to have that to move in, other than your dog.
Yeah. Other than my dog,
But that would not prevent Ian from moving in.
In here, the bathroom is tiled, but nothing else is done. Basically, the electrical, there's only going to be a toilet and a sink there. Very, very small bathroom. I don't foresee that taking too much time.
And that wouldn't be required for moving.
Well, at least
you got a bathroom upstairs.
At least one would, yes.
Well, you got to have a shower.
Okay. Good morning.
Good
Hello.
morning. Mark, I don't think you're going to make that.
I'm going to go under. That's okay. I'm going under.
Watch yourself. Okay.
Careful.
Advantage of not being 9 foot tall.
And we have the beginning of a floor in this bedroom. Looking good. Yep, looking good.
And you see the plank will extend out here, extend across.
They're starting to tile, so they'll be putting the bathtub in. Now, I wanted to, no, they don't have it. So I'm going to talk remind me to talk to Saul about the hardware and the legs for this. I want it put in our room so that everything's together. Okay. Good morning. So in this bathroom, we have all the fixtures that need to be put down. We've got a sink. We have a shower that needs to be put in. We've got a toilet that needs to be put in, and we've got a bathtub that needs to be put in, and all the tiling work and all the electrical work. A window here, a window there, so there's a lot of work.
Have to be put in so you get some heat, hot water.
Right.
Okay. Back rail, same way.
Yeah, the back rail, this one needs a little bit more work.
I'm thinking you're saying move it in.
Yeah.
If you had the window there, the door, you could use the dog just can't go out the balcony.
That's right. That's right.
So I would say the big emphasis is on that bathroom is probably the most, the bathroom and the kitchen are probably the two that require the most
amount of work. Yeah. You know, I don't remember seeing those on the railing downstairs.
They weren't.
These
they put
tabs.
On, they've added them.
Oh,
in.
they're added on.
Yeah,
Are they?
They weld those on after. We're not on. If you go on mine, they're not there yet.
Okay. That answers that. So what have we got here? Anything else?
Bedroom.
Bedrooms.
So windows and a door.
And of course, all the air conditioning. We've forgotten about that. There's two.
Now that's not on them though. That's on us.
I understand that, but it has
So
to
we
be
have
done.
to purchase it and schedule it. So again, one of the things is that we have to remember when we're doing this, this is not just what Bong has to provide as part of the build. It's what we have to go out and buy as doing this. For instance, on Sunday, we drove up to Dinalupian, about 40 kilometers away, and we drove up there to get our water tanks because we have to do it. It's a 1,800 liter water tank. We purchased 2 of them, and they'll be delivered this week.
I think it's important to inform them also why we made the trip all the way out there when we could buy one at any one of the hardware stores here.
Yeah.
All of the ones that we looked at were either stainless steel, and for various reasons we decided against stainless steel. We can get into that in detail another time, but we decided on plastic, and the only thing we could find was a blue, like an aqua blue.
It's like the color of that water jug there.
Exactly.
It's bright blue. And we didn't want that sitting up on the roof.
Right.
Be an ugly sight.
So the only other choice we had, and we only found out of this through Jean, Bong's wife, was that there's a gray one available in Dinalopian, and so we made the trip out there and we purchased it.
So Bong kind of gave us a deadline. He says, you need to go get it now because I'll get somebody to come transport to do that and transport both of them. So I rousted Ian up, even though he wasn't ready for it, about noon on Sunday, and I said, let's go, we're on a road trip. And he goes, what? And I said, we're on a road trip. So that's one other thing to keep in mind is a lot of you see this and see us as like only dropping in here every other day and take a few pictures and all that. This is a 7-day-a-week for us.
It has become yeah,
a 7-day-a-week pursuit.
Yeah. We're pretty well doing something for the house every day. Some days it's like 6 or 7, 8 hours.
Yeah.
We're working on stuff for the house, and other days we're maybe ordering stuff online or waiting around for
which ordering it online means we have to go pay at our apartment condo hotel, give them money at the counter so they have it up there. So you got to have enough change to do that. It means you have to go to the bank to have enough loose money to do that because again, it's cash society here.
Yeah. You're
not paying for this with a credit card.
Right.
So again, just trying to let you know all the things you have to do in the background, not just show up every 2 days and take a picture.
It's a lot different than North America. There are so many things that have to be done by us. And what complicates it is it's not as easy to do those things here as it is in North America. You can't just run down to your local hardware store and grab it.
Now, one more thing. If you didn't have my car, you'd really be screwed. Because I've got a car, so I can transport both of us. And I don't mind doing it. I mean, you know, I'm got the time to do it. We both do it at the same time. But again,
it would be
we have transportation here, whereas otherwise, my God, you'd be paying a taxi bill galore.
Well, I'm trying to picture me driving down the road with an 1,800-liter water tank on the back of my scooter. And again, in here, most of the tiling work is more or less done, but we have all the fixtures and all the electrical need to be done. The windows need to be done. In here, pretty well untouched. This one needs everything.
But this one doesn't have to be finished to move in.
True.
You could close the door.
True. We should define what we meant by move in. Move in does not mean the house will be ready and fully functional. It just means that I will have enough to be able to survive here. I'll have a kitchen, I'll have a bathroom, the basic needs, and there'll still be construction going on.
And one thing that's different is, in my case, for me to move in, I have a full apartment full of furniture because it's all my furniture. In Ian's case, he owns none of the furniture other than a big screen TV. So the only thing he has to bring is a big screen TV and his clothing.
Yep. All right, let's head up one floor. Watch your head here, Marcus. This one I didn't even see.
I'm fine.
Okay, all right. Morning.
How are you?
So listen, on the electrical box, the second electrical box, where are you guys at on that? The one? There's two electrical boxes.
Needs a second box. It's not.
No.
Is it?
The box is not available.
Oh, it's not available.
Okay. So you'll have to,
I'll have to talk to Bong. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Not available? Okay. I don't know what that means, not available. You would think it means not available, but I doubt that.
I think you could go someplace and buy it.
Yeah.
And again, you don't have to have that big a box.
Right. This actually looks pretty good, and you're right. It's perfectly safe for the dog.
Yeah.
She could still get through here as she is
Well,
right now. Give her a few more pounds, and she won't.
Heck, at the rate she's eating
Yeah.
Bella's dog food, my God, you had her over there the other day?
Yeah.
And I had just filled Bella's dog food.
Gone.
She loves Bella's, not puppy food, but the full dog food.
I think it's the same way around. When Bella comes there, she cleans out the
Cleans out the puppy, says,
yeah.
says, I like puppy food.
Yeah.
I get only dog food at home. Oh. So this has to have windows on it in order to close up the stairway from rain and other things coming downstairs.
Although that wouldn't be a deal breaker, I wouldn't think.
Well, you gotta have something to seal up the rain coming in there.
Yeah,
now this
tarp.
one you could do. You wouldn't need the CR.
And you can tarp it too.
Right. Now, this back here, you're fine. This back here is the area where we'll put his water tank.
Right, and water softener. We both decided on a water softener. It's pretty critical here. The water here is so hard. If you get in the shower and you want to lather up the soap, you really got to work on it to get that soap to lather up. And you have issues with contaminants and bacteria in the water. So the system we're buying is a water softener. It also comes with a water purifier, which is a 3-filter system.
Four filter and a
UV.
UV. So
Yeah.
5 things it's got to go through,
Right.
plus the water softener. Now, I assume they're going to bring the tank in here on this side.
And just hoist
and
it
then
up.
Hoist it up here.
I can't
It's-
imagine it being any more than about 100, maybe 150 pounds.
Yeah, it's plastic.
Yeah,
Well, it might be fiberglass. So I'm not sure that this one. I couldn't see exactly.
It moves too much. It's got to be plastic.
Okay.
Because I pushed the top
Did
in
you?
and it
Okay, I
actually
couldn't-
moved.
I couldn't see.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if the gray one was fiberglass instead of plastic or not.
I don't
The
think
blue
you
one,
want fiberglass. Eventually, I can see it cracking. Or
correct.
Yeah.
So
Whereas the plastic would just move.
right.
That's another thing I'm concerned about is you've got to pump. You've got to pump the water up to the tank. Sorry, you have to pump the water up to the tank to get it to the roof because it's at street level. That pump has to be set absolutely correctly because you just need enough to get the water into the tank. You don't want to pressurize that water inside the tank.
So 2 things: the pump that Bong recommended,
Yeah.
and I have already ordered mine.
Well, that's a different pump though. That goes from the tank into the house, correct?
The one
Yeah.
you're going to order to go under this tank with this tank. The pump goes to this one pump and a bladder, and it is adjustable. It is adjustable to it, and there is a anti-siphon when it kicks off to get it started. So you need to go read your instructions about that tank. So
Okay.
the detail of it. The one pump takes care of it.
So does that pump? It pulls it from the street level.
I don't know whether it pulls or it pushes. Bong asked for the pump. I ordered the pump.
Okay.
I'll let him tell me where it goes. If it goes up here
All the reading
or it goes down there.
I did on it says you shouldn't be pulling it from the roof because if you ever get a leak, you're done. You're toast. I mean, even a little air leak will cause an airlock. And
This
you're,
pump has an anti-siphon built into it. That's why Bong picked this pump.
okay.
So I don't know, but I'll let him tell me. Again, you're not the expert. I'm not the expert on plumbing in the Philippines. I'm going to let him tell me what to do.
Okay.
I'm going to buy exactly what he told me to pick. Well, with that, that concludes what we're going to need to do here, I think. There's other things to add on. This will have to be covered underneath the eaves. Those aren't things that he needs to move in. So the question is,
Will it be ready by, well, it's May the 31st is the absolute drop dead deadline. Will it be ready for me to move in?